Welcome to Exam Sale. In this video we will walk through the LPI Entry-Level Linux Essentials Certificate of Achievement syllabus and show what you need to learn to succeed. This exam is divided into 5 domains with exact weights you should focus on. The power of the command line is 27%. Finding your way on a Linux system is 20%. The Linux operating system is 20%. Security and file permissions is 20%. And the Linux community and a career in the open source industry is 13%. Together these areas cover conceptual knowledge and practical skills, and the recommended study time across all domains is about 48 hours with a mix of hands-on and scenario-based assessments. The power of the command line carries 27% of the exam and is rated medium with about 12 hours of study and hands-on plus conceptual assessment. You will learn efficient file manipulation using tar and compression tools like gzip, zip2 and xz, and you will use zip and unzip for cross-platform compatibility. You will master data extraction using redirection, pipes, grep and basic regular expressions plus tools like sort, unique, cut, head and tail. Finally you will learn to turn sequences of commands into basic shell scripts, understand sh versus bash, use variables, conditionals, loops, arguments and exit codes, and follow best practices for readability and comments. Finding your way on a Linux system is 20%, rated easy with about 10 hours of study and hands-on plus conceptual assessment. This domain teaches command line basics including the bash environment, standard syntax, command history and completion, and how environment variables work. You will learn to get help from man pages, apropos, info, local documentation and the common help flag. You will also practice navigating the file system with absolute and relative paths, listing files and hidden files with ls, using wildcards, understanding the file system hierarchy standard, and basic file operations like touch, mkdir, cp, mv, rm and creating links. The Linux operating system is 20%, rated medium with about 10 hours of conceptual and scenario-based study. You will compare major distributions and understand desktop, server and embedded use cases, the role of the Linux kernel, and release life cycles to choose an operating system for a task. You will identify hardware components and monitor them with commands like lsc2 and free, and learn 32-bit versus 64-bit considerations. The syllabus also covers where data is stored with key directories such as varlog, etc., home and temp, mount points and partition types, and basic network configuration including IP addressing, DNS and tools like ping, dig and ipadder as well as a basic introduction to VPN and SSH for privacy and security. Security and file permissions is 20%, rated hard with about 10 hours of scenario-based study and a strong focus on user and group management. You will learn to identify the root superuser, differentiate standard and system users, and use sudo along with id and homie to inspect identity and privileges. Practical skills include adding and modifying users and groups, understanding etc password and etc group, and safely removing accounts and handling home directories. You will master permissions and ownership with chown and chmod in both symbolic and numeric forms, understand umask and group ownership, and study special permissions such as sudo and sgid, the sticky bit, device files in dev, hidden configuration.files, and the security risks of world writable files. The Linux community and a career in the open source industry is 13%, rated easy with about 6 hours of conceptual and scenario-based study. This domain covers the history of Unix and the creation of Linux, the role of the GNU project and the free software movement, and the landscape of major distributions and embedded systems. You will learn open source licensing including GPL, LGPL and permissive licenses such as BSD, MIT and Apache, plus Creative Commons for non-software work, and understand the goals of organizations like the FSF and OSI. The syllabus also explains ICT roles that use Linux, common developer and admin tools, how to contribute to open source communities, and the value of vendor-neutral certification for careers in DevOps and cloud environments. That wraps up the syllabus tour for the LPI Entry-Level Linux Essentials Certificate of Achievement. Study each domain according to its weight, practice hands-on where the assessment requires it, and focus on the listed topics to build a solid foundation for a career in Linux and open source.